Hello Orchid friends, welcome back to my channel. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, staying healthy and staying safe. Today we're looking at my Phalaenopsis, Chiang Sapphire. This one is a very interesting orchid in a couple different ways. First of all, I pay the price of one, but it came in two. So it's essentially two individual plants. Well, I should say two plants in one container that came to me a couple years ago. This is a very reliable bloomer every single year. It never fails. And this time around, just like last year, I believe, it's two flower spikes. It doesn't always produce two flower spikes, but this time around, two flower spikes again, so yay. Each plant put out one flower spike. And the reason I didn't want to say two individual plant is I suspect this is a mother plant and a cakey or side growth situation, because one is slightly smaller, but they both are mature enough to bloom. And when that happens, I love it because, you know, who am I to argue with one extra plant, right? I have had 2 or 3 other occasions where I would get like a small miniature Phalaenopsis orchid, but then after I get home or on the spot, I realize it's actually 2 plants in a single pot. So usually when that happens, I don't even care what the flower looks like. I would just, buy it, because I pay for the price of one and I get 2 plants. So buy one get one free, or each one 50% off. Now back to this orchid. So this is a very interesting orchid in another way, and that is the color. So this color, it has a little bit of that light purple, or I guess violet for the flower, and then the lip is that very bluish purple. It's not quite indigo, I think. I think it's just, blue enough that it's purple, or purple enough that it looks nice, but I just don't know if it's truly indigo just yet. But it works for me. This combination works for me, and every time, because it does have multifloral capabilities, so every time it produces multiple buds, and it does have that sequential blooming capability. So sometimes it would bloom out and then it will continue to elongate and put out more buds. And so the blooming season, the entire blooming cycle, can sometimes last until for like 2 months. And here you can kind of see the first flower is about to fade, but then it's just, a show. I really enjoy this orchid this time around, because 2 flower spikes with many flowers open, it just looks like a little mini bouquet. It doesn't have a huge fragrance. It has something, but I wouldn't really categorize this orchid as a fragrant orchid, not this time around. And for me, this orchid is easy to care for because it has never really given me any issue, other than I noticed that this orchid's roots aren't very thick. So I would suggest that if you want to, you have this orchid and you want to grow it well, a mid-sized to smaller sized pebbles may actually be better for this orchid. For my orchid, I use a mixture of manto clay and hydrocorn, 1-to-1 ratio. It works alright, but I feel this orchid would benefit more from smaller pebbles a little bit more, because of the root size are just thinner, skinnier. It gets a 1/4 cup of water every single week, except the last week of the month, I would use just water to soak this orchid really well. And the reason is the soaking allows the salt buildup to be dissolved, so that way it's not sticking around for too long, which sometimes can impact the roots negatively. And when I give this orchid just 1/4 cup of water, I would put fertilizer in the solution as well, the waters. So it's water soluble fertilizer, 1/4 strength. But the end of the month though, I only use pure reverse osmosis water to soak this orchid, so there's nothing else. So this orchid basically would get fertilizer 3 weeks every month, and then the last week of the month or the last watering cycle of the month, it would just get just water, but a lot of water. Of course, I would drain the water really well as well. Currently, this orchid, you'll see in a minute that it's grown in a semi-hydro setup, and the reason for that is I was trying out semi-hydro and I bought this orchid during that phase, so I thought I wanted to try that particular method on this orchid, and I did, and it worked out well. But I feel this orchid may do even better in a bigger pot and with drainage holes at the bottom. And because I use double cup method, so if I choose to have some excess water at the bottom in a double cup setting, and because there is drainage hole at the bottom of the inner cup, it would allow me to convert back to semi-hydro in a way, but with a lot more flexibility. Right now, the drainage holes are on the side, so if I soak this orchid, I will have to tilt this orchid a little bit more just so that the water can drain out from the drainage holes on the side, and that's not very convenient for me anymore. So I'm hoping that after this bloom cycle is done, I'll find the right time and the right season and time to repot this orchid. As you can see, it has a lot of area roots, and I really do want to repot the area roots into the medium, and probably a bigger container. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. And also a repotting will give me the opportunity to take a look at this orchid and see if these two orchids are still connected, or do I need to separate them, whatnot, because I honestly can't remember if there are two separate plants already or they're still connected like mother and child. I don't remember, but if I do a repot, I probably will also make a video just to give you an update on this orchid. But overall, I love this orchid. This orchid is pretty awesome. You should give it a try too. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!